These are my first 8 impressions of Octopath Traveler 2. I'll be going in order from each character I unlocked as I've been progressing through the game. About 15 hours in, doing a little bit of side stuff here and there. Otherwise, I think I would have gotten all 8 of them a lot sooner. The first one I chose, based on the trailers and seemed the most compelling to me, was Oswald. The idea of like this highly intellectual scholar type character on a revenge quest. He's kind of dark and brooding, and he mugs people. That's one of his actions. I thought that was pretty cool. Still a lot of mystery there. I think him and his friend, his fellow scholar, were looking for like the one true fire. No idea what that means. I feel like it might have something to do with the Church of the Flame. Excuse me if I don't remember all the names of these things. I know that some of these stories intertwine a lot better than they do in the first game, which is really exciting because that was probably the most disappointing thing about the first game, was the lack of interconnectivity between the characters and their stories. They all felt so disconnected. I know there was banter, but that was optional, and it didn't go into like the story in a very meaningful way. But this time around, I know that's not the case. I know some characters like Throne and I think, is it Throne and Hikari? I think have I know they have a quest or a chapter together. I think, which is great. But back to Oswald. Yeah, there's like the whole jailbreak sequence was really cool. I liked how they muzzled him because, you know, he's a magic user. He can use words, I guess, to bam, fire. You got to see his tragic backstory. I don't know how he was so, like, I don't know how he was framed so easily for the death of his wife and daughter, I think. I thought that was pretty silly. It didn't really make any sense. He didn't really even seem to fight it. I mean, it obviously could have been Harry. It just, yeah, that was like my one complaint. Like him being like framed just doesn't really make a lot of sense. And the motive doesn't really make sense. Like maybe they thought it was by accident. I don't even know. But this guy is on a death mission, a revenge quest, and I dig that for a guy like a scholarly type character. That was pretty cool. Who's next? Who did I get next? I think it was Temenos. So Temenos, like, I thought Temenos was kind of cool. He's like he's got like an intellectual mind, which I think is being held back by religion. He's got a keen eye, a keen mind for for detail. Like he's despite being a man of faith, he has a mind like kind of like oh god, the dude, the detective. No, elementary, my dear Watson, Sherlock. He's got a mind like Sherlock, and I'm really digging this like religious conspiracy and the death of this religious leader, the pontiff, and how deep does this religious conspiracy go? I think it's pretty cool. You might hear me say compelling a lot. I like that word. I think because it compels me to know more about their story. So Temenos, I liked his dynamic with his friend. Forgive me for it was in the early hours of the game, so I can't remember his friend's name. But he was, you know, a devout believer and didn't question the faith. Temenos, he's a believer, but he doubts. He's skeptical. And I like that about him, which makes it kind of weird that he's religious in the first place. Well, actually, in this world, their religion's basically true. They don't, in our world, there's no evidence for it. In their world, there is evidence for it. So I suppose you can be skeptical, intellectual, and it doesn't in believing in your god or faith isn't contradictory to that. So yeah, Oswald, Temenos, very cool. Next, I think it was Throne. I think her story is a lot more compelling than the guy in the first game. I can't remember the thief's name in the first game. Forgive me. Was he voiced by Sasuke? He might have been voiced by Sasuke. I'll have to look up that later. But Throne, pretty cool character. They're part of this thieves guild where they're kind of mistreated by mother and father. The names of this feels like a cult. They wear collars, a lot of culty shit in this game. And yeah, they're kind of stuck in this little fucked up family they've made. And they're wanting to pick new leaders, so they pit Throne and her closest allies together until there's only one standing. And Throne, she succeeds. She's the last one standing, but she doesn't want this life anymore. And she has this. She could just leave and just not do it anymore. But she has this collar around her neck that requires 2 keys, one from father, one from mother. So not only does she have the motivation, she has the motivation to kill them, but there's also a symbolic reason, physically and metaphysically, to kill them for what they've done to her and these people she's grown to care about, and to get their keys so she can release this collar and be free, physically and metaphorically. So I really like her story. It's much more compelling than the guy in the first game who he got that cuff, which is really embarrassing for a thief, and he's like, I gotta get this off. So, but to give credit, he did have like this partner who betrayed him, and that became a whole thing. That was actually pretty cool. So, like, but the initial motivation was meh. And that could change for some of these other characters who I feel like the start of their story was meh. Who's next? So Oswald, Temenos, Throne. Did I do Hikari next? No, I did Ochato. I think I liked the hunter in the first game. I thought she was more stoic. She was cooler, more your traditional hunter vibe as opposed to this beastling hunter. She's all right. She's fun. She was trained to be like the future leader of the village, and there's like this calamity approaching that threatens their home, their island. And so they have to find these. She has to find these 3 mystical beasts of legend, and bring them back to the island to thwart this calamity from destroying their home. In terms of the scale, it's her journey seems more important to a lot more people than the hunter in the first game, where it's like she just wanted to find her mentor or something. I think he was alive. I think he was alive by the end, and that was like she just wanted to find him, I believe. This time, Ochato needs to save her whole island. And find these cool mystical beasts. It feels like we're hunting for like legendary Pokemon. We'll see how that goes. Ochato could be like a little annoying. She's kind of little kiddish. Like I get it. Naive. There's certain aspects of her character that are endearing, but could be a little annoying. And I think that's just anime, generally speaking. I don't think there's anything else about Ochato I could really go over. Okay, so we did Ochato. Next is Hikari. Hikari was really cool. I feel like they always want to make like, I feel like the warrior is like, they just assume everybody's got to pick the warrior first, so they want to make them generally pretty cool and their story's pretty good. Like the guy in the first game, I don't fucking know. He was all right, but Hikari's story is way better. He's a prince to a kingdom. His father spent years at war, claiming territories, and near the end of his life, he realized that wasn't the right path, and he wants to make the world a better place to make up for what he's done. And he's got two sons. One son basically inherited this war mentality, and he wants to conquer everyone and everything, and the class, the hierarchical structure is still like really important. Like everybody below him is trash, but Hikari, he was tasked with protecting the lower class people, the commoners, and he befriended them. He understood them. Super based. Love it. And the people care for him. They see him as their leader. So when Hikari was told to meet with he met with his father in secret. I remember that. I forgot. Hikari adopted the philosophy that the king wanted from him, you know, for the true king. Yeah, which is cool. And then there's like this whole, like the brother, the older brother, I forgot his name, but he like usurps the throne, kills the father. Does he kill the father? Kills the father. But the father, in his dying breath, tells Hikari to like rally his allies, because the brother thinks, you know, he's so strong and like singular. And then Hikari contrasts that, where he's like kind of like Naruto, where he needs to collect his allies, and it's his allies and friends who have helped him grow as strong as he does. So that's his journey. I haven't gone much farther, but a really cool aspect of his is like his latent ability is this darkness inside. So he still does like this, just like his father, just like his brother. He has this darkness inside him, which he can use his latent abilities to unleash. So we'll see if that, like, his anger and hate and tendency, his sort of, they call it the curse of the something or other. We'll see if that comes out in the story in a significant way. I'm excited for Hikari. He's got this grand adventure to reclaim his throne. I'm all for it. Okay, so the other three stories are kind of downhill from there. They're not bad, but I did Partitio next, and in comparison, it's just, you know, the stakes aren't there. Like, all the other characters really have like their motivations and their journeys set. They have goals. Partitio chapter 1 was great. Like, they got him and his father and their partner Roke get this silver mine. They build this town up. They did a great job. Built this community, and then it was taken from them because they forged the contract to say that the landowner can buy it back at any time. After like they started collecting more taxes and the price on silver went down, the town went to shit. Pop was sick. Partitio, he's kind of, how do I say this? He has a desire to go out into the world and try to. He kind of wanted to explore the world and see what's out there, but he's kind of stuck there, you know, watching over his dad, who's getting sick. And then he there's this kind of bad guy at the beginning, who's like trying to basically rob people or something. And then he becomes a big honcho, in this economic downfall. He becomes the head honcho. And then, you know, when Partitio's kind of at his lowest point, he talks to his dad, and his dad says, like, you gotta do what you gotta do. Partitio kind of took that as, I'm gonna murder. That's what it seemed like to me. I thought he was gonna round up a posse and kill these people. But instead, he rounded up a posse and incited like a revolution to take back the town, which was pretty based. When you have this authoritarian bullshit, yeah, just take back your town. So like chapter 1 was really good. And I thought, you know, once they found out that Rock forged the contract and, you know, and set them up to fail and then went off to, you know, make it big. I thought the goal would be to, like, for Partitio to, like, sort of confront Rock and maybe become a better capitalist than him. That was, like, one of the things, like, you have the makings of a great capitalist. Which I thought was kind of funny, as somebody who's, like, not, like, I'm not the biggest fan of capitalism. Ooh, shocking, the progressive, woke, lefty SJW doesn't like capitalism. But by the end of this chapter 1, it's like, he just wants to go out into the world and end the devil we call poverty. He's going to try to use capitalism to end poverty. I'm not going to make this video into like a whole dissertation on like how capitalism can't work without poverty. But I just thought his story was kind of whack. Like, his motivation's kind of whack. Like, that's... Oh, and this thing... Oh, it's so funny when he says, like, I didn't know how bad poverty was. I'm like, whoa, dude, really? Like, did you think it was just, like, okay? Like, they weren't doing too bad? Like, what did you think poverty was? It's very silly, but he was impoverished, he was poor, he gets it now. He only had to starve and live in a dying home, like his house or mansion or whatever is falling apart. Jesus. And now his journey is to go out and use capitalism to end poverty. I think better motivation would be specifically for like to one up Rock and just become a better capitalist than Rock, and maybe get his friends out of poverty, which he kind of did before. Like, he was giving them jobs and stuff to do. So like there's like some... I have some ideological issues with his story, but in general, pretty good chapter 1. Really good chapter 1. The merchant story in the first game was... I couldn't give two fucking shits. And she was also like the most annoying character to me. Like, it's been so long since I've played the game, I don't remember in what specific way she was annoying, but I just really didn't like her. Partitio, cool character, cool story, very good chapter 1. I really hope it goes uphill from there. Next was Agnia. Agnia was next. Cute character, cute little dancer. The first game, Penrose, she was a dancer, but she used her dancing skills and feminine wiles to get in deep with like the criminal underbelly to find out who murdered her father. So really good story there for a dancer. Agnia probably has like the lowest stakes in the out of all of the stories, because at least Partitio like he was betrayed by Rock. So there's something there. Agnia, her mommy died, very sad, but nobody wronged her. She just wants to go on a journey to become a star like her mom and put smiles on people's faces. That's fine, but like, it's not super compelling. I don't see why you need to journey with people. I don't see the motivation to fight. I guess, like, so her desire to put smiles on people's faces goes beyond dancing. Like, they all have a motivation to fight, to travel together and help each other with their goals. But Partitio's is kind of like, his doesn't feel as important as the rest of the groups, and that is even more so for Agnia. She just wants to be a star and I guess help people, but put smiles on their faces, which could probably mean a lot of things. But who knows? The start of her journey is kind of just not as compelling as the other characters so far, and that could change. Like, the thief in the first game, his chapter 1 wasn't super compelling at first, but then, like, you know, eventually he catches up to his partner who betrayed him. It's been so long since I played the game, but I know it got, like, a little better as it went on. Hopefully that'll be the same for Agnia, you know? We'll see. Agnia's a super cute character. Cute little story. She's just a ray of sunshine. Let's go with that. A ray of sunshine. Which is a nice dynamic to have in the group. We'll see. Oh God, how is her story going to tie in with other characters? So we talked about Agnia. Is it Agni or Agnia? I made a joke about Agni Kai, so it might be Agni. Oops, Agnia, whatever. So the last was Cassie, and I wasn't really into the apothecary story in the first game. I didn't find it super compelling. He just wanted to save people. I get it. He just wants to help people. He wants to heal people. I don't think he had this overarching motive for his story. But Cassie immediately was interesting because she had the trope amnesia. She had amnesia. I'm like, okay, so she remembers. She's a healer. She has all this information. She remembers all these things. She's compelled to help people, to listen to them, to heal them. But for some reason, she has amnesia, and the player, are shown the last thing that happened to her. Somebody put her on a boat and said, you're the only one who can find a cure. So this person who we find out is Malaya, put her on this boat, and they must have been working on a cure together. I don't know why she put her on this boat. They were trying to save her or something. But it turns out that Malaya, and Cassie were a part of Air's Apothecaries, which is apparently this roving band of apothecaries who go around poisoning people, which is hilarious and crazy. So apparently she was a part of this group. She was wearing their signature outfit apparently, so everybody could tell. And she doesn't know why. She doesn't know. She knows she met Malaya, but she left before she could get any answers out of her. She's looking for a cure, but she's convinced Cassie's gonna find the cure. I don't know why Malaya did what she did. I don't know exactly how she got to the port town before Cassie. I assume she took like a big boat, and Cassie was on a little skiff, and she just managed to get there maybe a few days before. And then she was just hanging out with Cassie the whole time without revealing anything. Before Cassie got a memory of Malaya, blah, 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 putting her on the. It's a little confusing, that bit of stuff, but maybe it'll make a lot more sense as she gets her memories back. I'm actually like really interested to know what the hell is happening in this apothecary story. She has a motivation beyond just healing people. She needs answers. She wants her memories back. And this could tie back into Malaya's, which I think they could you could have picked either one of these characters. They're both interesting because she's like looking for a cure for something, and that's, I think, like, that is a good motivating factor for an apothecary storyline, is to find a cure for a disease. Very cool. And she's got her memories, and I think these stories are going to tie back together, and like they're gonna once she gets her memories back, they're both going to share this desire to make this cure. So yeah, Cassie's story, really good so far. I don't think any of the characters are totally ridiculous, and their stories aren't completely ridiculous. Like in the first game, the merchant and the apothecary, I could not care less about their stories. This time around, everybody's pretty good, and I'm really excited to see how their stories intertwine. I don't think all of their stories will intertwine, but clearly, as advertised in the game, and I've seen a little bit, I saw like a trailer or a video, I know like they directly share chapters at some point, which is really exciting to actually see these characters in this group interact with each other in a meaningful way. So, great first impression of the game so far. I'm loving it. And I'll probably make another video, maybe for when I complete every chapter 2. I'll make a video then. And yeah, so that is my first 8 impressions of Octopath Traveler 2. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And I'll see you next time. By the way, I should mention, you can follow the adventure with me on YouTube and Twitch. Twitch.tv/RealmAboutFantasy, and this very YouTube channel. And I'll see you guys later. Peace. See you later. Ooh, I should start doing that. The sign language for see you later. As like a sign off. That would actually be cool. But I like peace. I guess I could do like see you later. Peace. Okay. Yeah. See you later. Peace.